Don't you think we're done? Don't you think we're done? Don't you think we're done? Knew that it was true from the way you looked at me. Don't know what to do, what to say to make you win.
Hello and welcome back to this Java course. Today we'll go through single line and multi-line comments in Java. We'll go through variable scope and we'll also look at do-while loops. Okay, so we'll start with single line comments in Java. As you can see, this is the code from our previous lecture, and I'm gonna write this sentence in here. I'm gonna use 2 slashes for a single line comment. So they are usually used for short descriptions. You can write basically anything you want because Java will not consider it as part of the code. So I'm gonna write here the following code is part of our previous lecture. And for today's lecture, we're gonna need the scanner object, but I'm gonna change here the name to value. We won't use these 3 lines in this lecture. We could delete them, but instead I'm gonna comment them out and Java will not consider them part of our code. So to make a multi-line comment in Java, you can do a slash asterisk, and this is used to open the multi-line comment, but we must close it. So to close the multi-line comment, we're gonna use asterisk slash. So now the lines in green will be part of the comments. Now we'll move on with our code and we can totally ignore the text within the comments. However, this line in here was not commented out, so this will be part of our code. And now to explain to you the do-while loops, I'm gonna take a task as an example that is usually assigned to beginners in Java, and the task is to ask the user to enter a number. Ask with a loop and don't stop asking until they enter, for example, the number 9. So let's see how we could do this with a do-while loop. Now, in case you get confused with the code within commented lines, because this was only for the sake of telling you how to comment out code that you don't need, but you don't want to delete either. But I'm gonna go ahead and delete it just in case you get confused with it. Now let's move on to our do-while loop. A do-while loop looks like this. There is a keyword do, and you open curly braces. When you hit enter, the Eclipse autofills the closing brace. Within these 2 braces goes the code that you want to execute. Then you have the keyword while, and within the parentheses there will be the condition, and at the end you have a semicolon. Now let's analyze the requirements. The task was to ask the user to enter a number until the number was 9. So here I'm gonna say sysout, control space. I'm gonna write enter a number. Then in our condition I'm gonna write number not equals to 9. So whenever the number is not equal to 9, our condition will be true and the code within our do block will execute. And the moment that the number will be 9, the loop will terminate. What we haven't done yet is declare this variable number. If you are a beginner, you would be tempted to declare it in here, int number 0. Now if you do this, you'll have an error. You always have to keep in mind variable scope. There is a very easy way to remember what variable scope is. Just focus on the curly braces that you've declared the variable. You see that the int number is declared within these two curly braces. If you do this, you could only use this variable within these two curly braces. So you cannot call this variable in here, outside these curly braces. So this is called local variable. If you would like to use the variable within class, it's best to declare it within these two curly braces. So if you do this, you could call the variable anywhere within this class. But if you declare it within curly braces of a loop or within curly braces of a method, which we'll see later on in this course, you can only use that variable within the curly braces that you declared it. So now we have correctly declared our variable and we're going to use it within the loop. We're going to assign our variable to our scanner object. And down here, I'm going to write some more code. And this statement will be executed when this condition returns false. So I'm going to say right here, you got 9. Now to make a correct format, click Ctrl-Shift-F. And let's see if our code works well. And here we have enter a number. 5, enter. It will ask us again to enter a number. If we enter 7, it will ask us again. 1, it will ask us again. But if we enter 9, you got 9. So it works as expected. So that's it for this lecture. I'll see you in the next lecture. Hello, in this lecture we're going through switch statements. Switch statements in Java are something like if statements. They allow you to take different action depending on the value of the variable, but in some cases they are more efficient than if statements. Now right here I'm gonna start with a scanner input to read the user input. I'm gonna type scanner input, new scanner, system.in. And I'm gonna press Ctrl-Shift-O to add the import statement right here. Now switch statements only support few types of variables. You can only test in switch statements types like char, byte, short, int, and string. I'm gonna make a comment right here. Switch statements also support their wrapper classes, character, byte, short, and integer, and their nums. But this is what you need to know so far, and we'll get to wrapper classes and enums later on in this course. So now I'm gonna create a variable to take some text from the user. Input.next line. I need to make the L uppercase. And I'm also going to put some text in here. Sysout, control space. So to make it clear for the user what they have to do, I'm gonna put some text right here. I'm gonna say enter your instructions. So let's pretend we're operating a program with text lines right here. So we have our variable text, which will help us get the text from the user. And then we're gonna create a switch statement. A switch statement has a switch keyword. Within parentheses, we're gonna put our variable. And then we're gonna open our curly braces. So within switch statement, we can test different cases. So we have a keyword case. Here we'll put the text that we want to check against the text variable. So we'll say run, and then we're gonna put some code that we want to execute. So here I'm gonna say program is running. And then you have the keyword break in here. Now I'm gonna open another case. For example, I'm gonna say stop, and I'm gonna put some other text in here. Sysout, program stopped. And then you have a default keyword within switch statement, which will be executed if none of the cases will match. Oops, we forgot the break keyword in here. In a switch statement, you can have as many cases as you want. You can have only
Feel like I do right now. Don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. lost track of time, don't know how to feel, but I'm not sorry. I'm lost in your eyes, are you even real? But don't you worry, I'm not looking for the one. No, I just wanna have some fun. So let's get drunk tonight, 'cause fuck how we feel. But for now, I won't give it all away, 'cause I don't think I'll stay. No, I can't be the only one who doesn't wanna fall in love. Doesn't wanna fall in love. Doesn't wanna fall in love. Doesn't wanna feel. Doesn't wanna fall in love. May not see eye to eye, but we can be chill for just this moment. So turn out the lights and let's make a deal to just enjoy it. I'm not thinking about forever. I won't care if we don't end up together. Let's get high tonight, 'cause fuck how we feel, yeah. But for now, I won't give it all away, 'cause I don't think I'll stay. No, I can't be the only one who doesn't wanna fall in love. Doesn't wanna fall in love. Doesn't wanna fall in love. Oh, yeah. Doesn't wanna fall in love. Yeah. Doesn't wanna fall in love. We've lost track of time, don't know how to